Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to Mrs. Spandu's Math Movies. This is for Course 2, Lesson 2-5, Mixed Numbers and Improper Fractions. What we'll be doing in this section is writing mixed numbers and improper fractions, basically converting between the two. Okay, we just have a couple of definitions today. Our first one is an improper fraction has a numerator that is greater than or equal to its denominator. Okay, some examples might be if you had the fraction 5/5, that would be an improper fraction. If you have the fraction 8/3, that is also an improper fraction, and so on. Okay. A mixed number is defined as the sum of a whole number and a fraction. Okay, so like 1 and 2/3 would be a mixed number. 1 whole plus 2/3 more of another whole. 5 and 3/8, and so on. If you look at the diagram here, you see that you have 1 whole pie plus 2/3 of another pie. So this could be expressed as 1 and 2/3. Also, here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 thirds. Each pie is cut into thirds, and I have 5 of those pieces. So 1 and 2/3 and 5/3 are equivalent. Two different ways of naming the same amount. Okay. And basically that's what we're going to be reviewing and doing today. Working on converting from one form to the other. Okay, our first one is writing an improper fraction, and there's actually two different ways you might want to look at this. The first one is using addition. This is usually not the way I go about doing it, although I think it is a good explanation of why the method that I use, which is method number 2, works. Okay, so first we want to write the mixed number as a sum. So 3 plus 2/5. We need to change the whole number 3 to a fraction with the same denominator as 2/5. So we want our denominator to become a 5. Now, so we're going to just multiply this out. And I oftentimes write 3 over 1, so I don't forget that I need to have my new a denominator as well. So 1 times 5 gives me the 5 that I need on the bottom. So 3 times 5 gives me 15. So I can rename 3 wholes as 15/5. Every whole takes 5 parts. If I have 3 things cut into 5 equal parts, that's going to give me 15 of those parts. That's where 15/5 comes from. So we add our numerators, the 15 from our 3 and the 2/5 that we already have, to give us 17/5. Okay. So again, this clearly shows the whole number 3 being rewritten as 15/5, plus the 2/5 that were additional there. Our answer then is 17/5 as an improper fraction. The second way is a little bit more like, or is more like what I do. In this one, we just multiply the denominator by the whole number. So we're going to multiply 5 times 3 plus the numerator. Okay, so 5 times 3 plus 2. 5 times 3 is 15 plus 2 is 17. And then I keep my same denominator. Okay, so a little shorthand way of remembering this is bottom times big plus the top. Gives me my new numerator, and then I keep my same denominator. Either way you choose to get this, you are going to get, or should, get the same value. Use the one that makes the most sense to you. Neither one is overly difficult. Use the one that makes the most sense to you and that you can use efficiently. All right, let's go ahead and go to the next page. Writing a mixed number. Let me get this adjusted for you. Here we go. Carl needs 18/4 cup of milk to make several loaves of bread. Express the amount of milk as a mixed number in simplest form. Basically what we do here, as you'll recall from previous lessons, this fraction bar also acts as a division bar. So we can take the numerator and divide by the denominator. 18 divided by 4 gives me 4. 4 times 4 is 16. I have a remainder of 2. With my remainder, I go ahead and make that the numerator of a fraction. My denominator stays the same. It's also the divisor. And then the whole number is whatever it is. Okay, so it's the remainder over the denominator for the fraction when you're dividing here. Earlier in the year, we had divided these out to decimals. We're not doing that any longer, or not in this section anyway. Okay, so this gives me, when I simplify, 4 and 1/2, dividing the 2 and the 4 by the common factor of 2. So Carl needs 4 and 1/2 cups of milk. And then you have these 2 quick check questions. If you go ahead and answer those, we will check them in class next time we see each other. Thank you very much. See you then.